Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening wherever you are in the world. My name is Jade, and this is How to App on iOS. And today we're going to be hanging out with Brad Example. But first, we're going to kick off with something very, very special that you will only see here. This is Little Bird by Brad Example. Let's do it.
Same old story. He's getting old and lives alone in a brick house. Down the road from me and never goes out. Waiting by a phone that never rings. He had a bird once, and every day his bird would sing a sweet song. Never flew away until one day it sang one final love song. And he loves until his heart broke. And he cried sometimes when the little birds sang their lonely love songs. Stares out the window down the road from me and watches the kids play. It's an old oak tree that stands between their homes with roots tangled in the clay. And the tears roll down a face that only tears have ever known. And all this time reflecting back a past could have fallen from an old man's nameless eyes. And he loves until his heart broke. And he cried sometimes when the little birds sang their lonely love songs. And he loves until his heart broke. And he cried sometimes when the little birds sang their lonely love songs. Same old story. We're getting old and live alone in these brick homes. The curtains close and life goes on to the sound of a lonely bird's love song.
Brad Example with Dave Bahan. What an amazing, amazing track, yeah? And yeah, I could get in trouble for playing that, and that's good too. Hello, everybody. Welcome to the show. I hope you're all doing well. It is Friday here in Australia. I'm feeling good. It's early in the morning, and I have one of my favorite people here with me today, and that's awesome stuff. This is How to App on iOS, and this is the, I guess, weekly interview kind of sort of thing. Sometimes yes, sometimes no. You're probably wondering, hang on a minute, Brad's been on this show before. Brad Example. Yes, that is my special guest today. And yes, Brad has been on, and we have done an amazing interview with Brad. And if you really should go back and watch that to get a more in-depth origin story. That's the word I'm looking for, because it is an origin story. And today we are doing something a little bit different. We are going to be talking sex, drugs, and rock and roll with Brad Example. Now, there are a few things I need to cover before we bring Brad on, and let's do this. Let's do this right now, shall we? I can hear Brad laughing in my cans. It's terrible. So today's show is brought to you by the amazing DistroKid, who we love very, very much here on the channel. I use DistroKid to release all my music, and you should too. Why? Because for as little as $19.99 a year, you can release unlimited music. Thank you so much, Thomas Christ, for putting a link in the description. If you use that code, distrokid.com/VIP/Jade, you'll get 7% off your first year across all three of these tiers, whichever one you choose, which is the Musician Plan at $19.99. There you go, Musician Plan, or the Musician Plus at $35.99 a year. We get 2 artist names. Or if you're like me and you have a million bands, you can use the $79.99 plan a year, which I get 5 artists, yeah? So I get to clone myself 5 times to pretend I'm in 5 bands. How awesome is that? So I want to thank DistroKid for sponsoring. We'll hear a little bit more about DistroKid later in the show, but I need to say this. Some of the things we will be talking about today not necessarily are condoned by DistroKid or that they stand by, but DistroKid do recognize rock and roll, individuality, and the freedom to be crazy. All right, so we could go down some very dark paths, but it's all good. I'm just making sure we all know that. All right, ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, thank you all for being here. We'll give you all a shout out very soon. Let's bring him on, the one, the only, the man you've all been waiting for, the man I love to absolute bits. Welcome to the show, Brad Example. Let's do it. Hey, Brad.
Hi, Jade. It's awesome to see you. Hi, everyone.
Hey, always awesome to see you, Brad.
You always got to have a disclaimer.
Always.
Just in case. You never know.
Because every show is debaucherous.
And it's the life you fucking live, you know.
And especially,
what are you gonna do? It's just how the cookies crumble.
It is, man. It's rock and roll at the end of the day. And you know, as I said, DistroKid support, you know, so many different artists across so many genres. So, you know, they know the deal with rock and roll, and we're going to talk about that.
All the surfer stuff is distributed through DistroKid, and they've been awesome. Like, easy, awesome. Easy to follow through. Like, I can go click on the bank, click on it. It's so easy to use in comparison to other distribution platforms. It's the easiest one, and I've tried a couple, so I know.
Yeah, awesome. I'm just bringing up, making sure music's working. Here we go. There we go. I want to have your music playing in the background. Yeah, we love DistroKid, man, and I'm sure heaps of people here in the chat use DistroKid as well. So
yeah.
What's going on, Brad? How are you feeling? Are you vibed? What's happening?
I feel awesome. It's lovely to see you. I just love seeing your face because we're on Clubhouse all the time and it's only voices. So it's nice to actually look into those luscious blue eyes of yours. It blows my mind.
Luscious? What the hell?
Man. Just let me get comfortable.
Keep talking like that and bad things are going to happen. All right, so we've got the disclaimer out the way. Things are going to get wild here today. Trust me on that, folks. All right, what I want to start off with, the first thing I want to ask you, because we've done an interview before. We've covered all the things, you're growing up, or how you got into music, all that kind of stuff. So we don't need to go back. And folks, you know, do yourself a favor and go back and listen to and watch the previous interview because it's a wild ride. How
long ago was that interview? It was about a year.
Yeah, it was. Point, eh? Yeah, I think it is about a year.
Yeah.
It's where the infamous bear story made its debut. So
Yeah.
if I actually went back and listened to that story yesterday while I was in the car going to get my guitar repaired. All right, I want to ask you because we talked about this in the previous episode about your health. What's going on with your health? You tell us a little bit about it for those who may not know about it, and how are you dealing with it? What's going on with it, man? Are you know?
You know what? It's my hip's been out for probably the last 2 weeks. My hip's been out. I have a hip impingement syndrome along with ankylosing spondylitis that stiffens my spine. So all I got to do is cough or twist wrong or move wrong, and my femur kind of slides in and out of my hip socket. So for the last 2 weeks, my hip has been out, and it only started going back in a couple days ago. So I'm starting to feel better. But what I found is different this year in comparison to, because I've been dealing with this for the last 20 some odd years. But for the last 10 years or so, I've been pretty isolated. I was too ashamed to leave my house because I had to use a cane. So I ended up becoming a recluse of sorts and just sticking in my house and not being social and not interacting with people. And that played a heavy mental toll on me. So as my body was failing, my social life started to crumble at the same time. And it's harder to deal with things that are out of your control when you don't have your friends around to kind of make fun of you or to make light of it and to make things easier.
Yeah.
So what I found the last year is that because of all of us that hang out on Clubhouse and come on your chat and Pete's chat and Tom's chat, now I'm starting to build a little group of friends that, all I got to do is say I don't feel good and Russ starts cackling. So I know there's, then I realize, why am I complaining? I'm complaining to who? A guy who had a fucking stroke and people that also have problems. So it makes me kind of swerve out of feeling sorry for myself and more into just being myself and being with people that I truly love, like you, Russ, Dave, Bubba, Sith, Hubs, like people that are always in Clubhouse and hanging out with us. And it makes going through these struggles way easier. And, so having a little bit of a support system there that isn't going to let you feel sorry for yourself is extremely important. And because of what I went through the last 5 years with really not having anyone around, I would feel worse and worse about myself and hide more and more and be more secluded. But now I'm opening up more and I'm happier, and I get to hang out with people that I love that are first and foremost important because we're all songwriters, but of different genres and calibers and styles and approaches. And so everybody works with different DAWs and different instruments and different entire genres. So it makes and then we're all songwriters. So that's the basis of our love for one another. But then it goes deeper than that when we're spending all this time together and, airing our grievances and talking about our, if we're miserable or if we're happy or, and then you get that little punch of Russ going, and saying things that are going to snap you out of it, which is, the most important thing. I love Russ more than, definitely more than he loves himself. Like, I love him.
That's the best. Yeah, look, it is. We do have a little space there where all of us kind of have issues, health issues, and
all of us.
Yeah,
you have ITP. Russ has had a stroke. I got issues with my hips. Ivan Idea's got issues.
Yeah.
Everybody's got issues, And that's what brings us all together, is our love of music, our love of being creative, our love for each other, and our love for the communities that we're a part of. And
Yeah.
that's like, I live in a remote northern Ontario town. There's no other musicians near me. There's no other people that I can talk to about music. I don't know anybody in this town because I don't go out. Like I'm not out and about all the time. So it's, my community is kind of what I can bring to me. So if I can make it happen on my phone, on my laptop, and I can create a world that is supportive and helpful and kind and, often a reality gut punch. Like, hey, smarten up and get your head out of your ass and don't be so miserable. And then you move on. Okay, you're right.
Yeah, you don't get in our little social group that we hang. You don't get time to feel sorry for yourself because
No sympathy.
Russ just laughs in your face.
Yeah, he's, what are you gonna do? Russ is right.
He is.
You can't deny the fact that he's right.
Yeah, I think back, maybe 10 years ago, who the person I was, if I knew someone like Russ who laughed at everybody's pain, I would probably be like, who is this guy? I want to smash him. But now, it just makes sense now because you've got to laugh, man. If you don't laugh, it gets bad. You can dogpile all these emotions, and you can't always write music to get it out. You know what I mean?
No, exactly. You got to have your friends around that are gonna, when you do something, and especially Russ and Ivan are both like that. If I do something, one of them will say, "What the fuck are you doing? Why are you doing that?" There's always somebody there to kind of knock you down a peg, to make you, ground you in reality. Like, oh yeah, I'm not just. I can't just complain for complaining's sake. I got, when I broke my foot, I never heard Russ laugh so hard. I broke my foot, and Russ laughed for a half hour straight. And then I started laughing, and I was so miserable because now I knew I had a cast on for 3 months, and I'm crying. I'm laughing so hard because Russ gives no shits. Like, you get no fucking sympathy from him, none.
Absolutely, but at least we got revenge because Russ broke his hand. Russ broke his hand, and then we all got to laugh at Russ with his one hand. Well, he's already got one hand, doesn't he? Now he had no hands.
Oh, that was lovely.
Well, he broke the hand that he can't use anyway. But, most people would probably sit around and listen to the stuff, us talking about all that and going, you guys are horrible to each other. But it's not.
Yeah, exactly.
It's not about that. That's what friends are for. Isn't that the song? I'm sure the song goes, that's what friends are for us laughing, for picking on Dave, for picking on Brad, for, you know what I mean? That's what it's all about. So, on top of that, you mentioned at the beginning, with your hip and all that stuff, you are locked down. You are stuck in a house. How has that been through COVID? Did it change anything for you, or was it just like business as usual?
That's the funny thing is that, I carried on as life as normal. Even if I had to go out and go to the shop or do whatever, I just went out. Like, it didn't feel like a big catastrophic event in my life, because I had already gone through the psychological trauma of being a captive in my body.
Yep.
10 years ago when all of this started. So when the pandemic came and people got locked down, and like, I saw a lot of people after 3 weeks just start getting itchy because they're such social people that this lockdown really affected them. But to me, it was like, now you kind of got a taste of what my life is like on a regular basis. But it also made me realize how difficult it is for people to mentally maneuver through that kind of situation. Like, it took me a long time, and I always said the saving grace of it all was being able to extract happiness from the littlest things, like a TV show or a song that I discover, or a chat in Clubhouse. Or I learned how to extract all the happiness I need from the littlest and simplest things. Like when I heard, Kimmy sent me a song to work on. When I heard it, I was blown away. And it gives me the happiness I need to carry through the next few weeks. So I just extract a little bit of happiness out of the littlest things I can in order to continue on tomorrow. Because I know deep down, the logical part of my Virgo brain says, why would you do this again tomorrow? Why would you do this when you know damn well it's only getting worse by the day? But what I've been able to mentally kind of maneuver through is that self-talk that is damaging through that and into being able to find all the joy and funny and happiness out of the littlest things. Changing my guitar strings, buying a new pair of overalls, getting a Moonwork shirt in the mail and a pen from my friend. Like, these are things that, I look forward to. Working on Kimmy's song. Like, these are things, listening to a new Hub song, listening to a new Kev Hart song, a new Russ song, listening to people that, Thomas Christ, listening to people that, Pete Johns, that I like, that inspire me. So then I take that little bit of inspiration and I stretch it as far as I can and make myself as happy as I can be, knowing I'm stuck in a lift chair. Like, I'm in a chair that is remote. I control it with the remote to get out. Like, I have to push a button and it lifts me out. You know what I mean? So I could feel sorry for myself, but I don't.
You will when I get to Canada and I get hold of that remote control and I flip you out of that chair. I get it on camera so Russ's mum can review the video. That'll be wild. You recently got, was it recently? No, or you've had a four-wheeler and stuff, yeah?
I got a four-wheeler, yeah.
Is it
I
new?
posted a video, but I took it down.
I know, I was going to play it.
My house and stuff.
Yeah. I know that feeling because I got...
So I put it up for Hippie because I love Hippie's videos of his side-by-side. I know it's a touchy subject, but I like those videos because I like seeing Alaska and I like seeing it from kind of Hippie's perspective through the back roads and stuff. So when I got my four-wheeler out of the snow this summer, the start of this summer, I went through and went to the falls and went around and saw some deer and came around the back way to my house. And yeah, it was cool. It was a fun video to make because then I got to use iMovie and I never use iMovie. So I got to put a voiceover over it and add some music to it and kind of edit it together. And, I'm not good at that stuff. Like, I watch all your LumaFusion videos. I have LumaFusion, but I haven't really dove into it to try to make something with it yet. Obviously, all my videos are done masterfully by Rusty.
Yeah,
they're fighting now.
It started.
Get down.
It started. The dogs. That's off.
So...
Hang on, so we'll just dwell on that. So all your videos, so you've got LumaFusion, you've watched all my tutorials, and they've helped so much that you just message Russ and get him to do it, yeah?
I don't even message Russ. He goes, do you have a video for this song? I go, no. Literally 5 hours later, there's a video for me in Dropbox, and I don't even watch it. I just upload it. I know it's going to be awesome, and Russ is... he makes jokes that he's going to put see you next Tuesday right in the middle of it. And, but I'll never see it because I don't watch them. I just upload them. I trust him and I just upload it. And it's amazing that he does that for me. He's a lovely guy, no matter what you may think about Russ.
He's a prick.
Yeah, exactly. But, I defend him with my life.
Yeah, we're all the same. We'd all do the same for each other. And I hear you on like recording a video. Yesterday, I recorded my first video with my drone. I took it off, I floated around, and then I got it home. I watched the video and went, well, I can't put that on the internet, can I? Because it shows my house. It shows the house number. It shows where I live. And you know what people are like on the internet? Hello. Some people, anyway. They're a bit crazy and they want to do dumb things. But it is what it is. But
I think the lucky thing about you and I is that we live in such remote places that people can't find us anyway. If you want to come find me, come find me.
I don't know, man. I've had people find me and never let go. I don't want to go through that again. For those of you who are Patreons, you'll get to see my videos on the weekend. All right, I want to talk about. So you've been driving around in the four-wheeler. How's that been going?
Good. I love it. I haven't left the house since the snow came, and the snow came here, I think, at the end of October. So our summers are very short here. So then my four-wheeler gets buried in snow, and I'm trapped inside all winter long. So I think I've taken it out on 3 rides so far, and I pulled it out of the snow about a week ago. So I got to bring it into the shop to get topped up and oil changed and the filter changed and work that I can't do anymore. So I'll just bring it in, get it fixed up. It runs fine. Everything's good. It's brand new. So I'm happy about it. I'm happy I got it.
I want to see a dueling four-wheeler washing video. So you put up against Hippie's four-wheeler washing video. That would be awesome.
Yeah, Hippie's got a power washer. I just have a hose.
It's not how big it is, Brad. It's how you use it. All right. So, let's say hello to folks
Can't
in
hit the back, but I can damage the sides.
Oh, well, let's say hello to everybody here. If you've already written something, write something in the chat so I can say hello to you. Joe and Barry, Glenn's here. Lou Reality's here. Ivan Idea.
Hi, St. Leela, Ivan, Rusty, Jack Flash.
Take it away.
Yeah, I see some of them.
Jack Flash, Mr. Smith,
yeah.
SM Borthwick, JDL,
SM.
Deep Gravity, man. What's going on? I got to do it. Deep Gravity. Thomas Christ says something in the chat. Clever. Really clever. Jack Flash wants Jack Flash. There you go. Tom Carrera's here.
Jack Flash. He's got such a great voice.
He does, doesn't he? And Tom Carrera, Welton Kinder, who'll be on not next week, the week after. Feisty Feather, hello.
I love too. His music is so dark sometimes. It's awesome.
Yes, we like dark. We like dark. Darkness is good. Hello, darkness, my only friend. Who else do I see who's here? I saw lots of people. Mr. Smith, Bubblicious is here. Kim Hudson, Guzzo of Oz.
Hi, Gibby.
I'm
Hi,
scrolling
Feisty
up.
Feather.
JDL, hello to you, my friend.
Christ is here.
We had a bot as well, Naked HDXYZ. Man, the best girls in the world. Sexy times. Gary Hubbs is here as well. I'm scrolling up and doing my best to find you lot. Thank you all for being here. Barry and Joe Glenn are here. So that's sexy times. Uh-oh. Now I told you about the start of the show. No animals and, no dirty...
Trying to get my dog to come sit on my lap, but he won't. He's running around.
Hugh Caldwell. Hi, Hugh Caldwell as well. Oh, Russ 8889's here. That's a filthy pig. I think I've got that dog's just going to keep scaring the crap out of me all the way through, man. So let's talk about when I first met you.
Yeah, they're still puppies, so they're yappy and they're still getting used to the people walking by and noises and trucks and. They're a handful.
Yeah, and another thing, like you guys might not know, we're letting in some jokes here today. So, Brad's only had his puppies for a little while. Oh, my God. Doggo. Look.
Little Cooper.
Little Cooper. But they've been taking shits all over the place. And unfortunately... As you know, Brad has trouble getting out of his chair, and then he does get out of his chair, and then he stands in dog shit. And it's not a very rock and roll lifestyle, is it, Brad? It's not.
No.
It's not like the days.
They've learned not to poop. I yell at them all the time, don't poop on the floor. So instead, they poop on the couch. Thank God we have couch covers, but good Lord. Puppies are no joke.
I don't know. They are to us. We laugh all day. Hi, Sith Vasquez. Doggos for the win, says Pete Johns. Absolutely. Doggos for the win. So how all right, this is a loaded question. How have the puppies helped with your mental health? Because you seem to be more angry than ever.
I'm trying to train them. I used to have 2 Dachshunds, Pierre and Martha. And I had them, they lived to be 14, and they were my world. I loved those dogs more than anything. And they both passed away. And then I was just lonely and heartbroken for about 2 years because I wasn't ready to get another dog. And I tried to get another dog, and he was too big, and it didn't work out. So I ended up giving him up to somebody who had a big yard for him. I couldn't walk them. So then these two dogs kind of came into my life, and they're brothers. They're same dad, different mom, one litter apart, same as Pierre and Martha were. And I love them. I absolutely love them. I can't walk them, which breaks my heart. I had the occupational therapist here last week, and we talked a little bit about getting a mobility scooter because I can't drag them with the four-wheeler. It's too loud. So I might get a mobility scooter so I can walk them. I haven't started the paperwork on it yet, but I was talking about it. But that's the thing. It was the same issue I had with leaving the house with my cane when I first started to use a cane. I felt it affected my mental health, and it affected my self-image. Like, I didn't want people to see me weak like that. So I'm even now, I have a walker. I haven't taken it out of the house, and I've had the walker for about 4 years. I use it in the house sometimes, but I can't take it out of the house because it's just too embarrassing. And so a mobility scooter is a big step for me. To even talk about getting it is a big step. I'd like to get one, and if I do, I would soup it up. I'd get big tires for it, put speakers on it. And,
of course you
would.
Of course
planes and lightning bolts and skulls and
naked and strippers down the side.
Yeah.
And a huge doobie.
Yeah, exactly.
Like that spaceship we saw yesterday.
Yeah, exactly. A little more well produced than that.
All right, I'm gonna play a track, and we'll come back. This is a song called Diamonds, and this has black covers on it, and it's a wicked track.
Oh, Ingo is so brilliant on this. I wrote him after your interview and asked him, would you be willing to do a song with me? And he said, yeah. So I sent him Diamonds. A couple days later, I thought it was going to take him a month or whatever. A couple days later, he sent it back, and it's just, he did such a wonderful job. Like, when I first heard it, it moved me. I was like, he's so good. Thank you, Ingo.
He's a pro, and not the kind that we're going to talk about later. All right,
He's a pro.
Let's play. This is Diamonds by Brad Example, orchestrated by Black Covers. So kick back, folks, and enjoy, and we'll see you back here very shortly. Oh, yeah. Boom.
Pick up the pieces, your broken heart. world I promise won't fall apart. My love will always be with you, and tears turn to diamonds. If you're lost, I'll find you. Pick up the pieces, your broken heart. The world I promise won't fall apart. My love will always be with you.
Just absolutely fucking awesome. I love that song so much. I love it so much. Welcome. Oops, hang on. Oh, you were muted, so you can say that again if you want, Brad.
There, I said thank you, Jade, and thank you, Ingo, and thank you, Rusty.
It's a beautiful
And
song.
thanks to everybody that came in the chat. I was expecting like 12 people. I was saying to Jade earlier, but looks like everyone's hanging out, and I'm happy to see you all. Thank you for coming.
They haven't come yet, Brad. I want to say hello to Seth and Nikki Tedesco. You're amazing, both of you. Welcome to the show.
Hi, Nikki. Hi, Seth.
Who else do I see? I saw someone else come in, and I want to say
I saw
hello.
Tremor Bear.
Tremor Bear, yes, said hi to
Guzzle,
Tremor Bear. Man,
Dean.
we got a big turnout because you're a popular person, because you're awesome. And Alan Watson is here as well. Hello to Alan Watson.
Alan Watson is the drummer for Room 206. So my first band, Al was the drummer. Al lived a couple doors down from me when I was growing up in the Sioux. He's one of the best drummers I've ever heard in my life. Like he's just amazing. He's a brilliant musician. So if anyone needs drums, you can always ask Al. He'll help you out. He's awesome.
And if you want to find out more about how those Brad's previous bands came together and stories of that, make sure you check out the previous interview I did with Brad. Because as I said at the beginning, that's where we did the whole backstory of Brad example and all that stuff. Hey, thank you, Nikki Tedesco. Got a super chat up there. Thank you.
Nice.
It's a super rainbow. It's as gay as fuck. I love it. We can say that on this show, can't we? Excellent.
Yes, we can.
Yes, we can do anything. Hello, Lily Pillies. Welcome to the chat as well.
Hey, Manny.
I want to discuss. So, look, I will carry on from where we were before. You're talking about getting a mobility scooter. It is hard, man. When shit happens in your life, and we're going to talk about some of these wild stories from your past today. To all of a sudden be nude on stage, doing lines of coke off whores' backs, and and all this crazy stuff that you have done, and then all of a sudden here you are, like in a chair with a remote control. It's soul destroying, but. I mean, I've been through the same shit, with my ITP and going out in public and all of a sudden just bleeding all over people. There's been situations, man, where I've been like at a store, at a supermarket, and all I'm doing is looking at the cheese aisle and I get a blood nose and the whole, there's blood everywhere. And the staff are coming and they're mopping it up and I can't stop bleeding and they have to remove me from the store. It's fucking embarrassing. It sucks so hard.
That's what happened to me. I was in Walmart and I fell. And I just started crying. And this poor little, 15-year-old Walmart worker came over, and it was a 24-hour Walmart, and it was really late at night. And I went to reach down to get a box of crackers, and my legs gave out, my hip gave out, and I just crumbled to the floor, started crying. This poor girl came over and was like, "Excuse me, sir, are you okay? Can I help you?" And so I had to get this poor girl to help me up, but that was it. Then after that, I was like, I'm not leaving the house ever again. So I can imagine the same thing with your ITP. If you have plans, you want to go. Someone says, "Oh, I got a gig." You want to go, but you're not sure if you're going to be able to make it through. So I had to navigate all of that, and it took me a lot of years to get there. But I'm finally at a place where, I'm creative, I'm happy, I have a good group of friends, the people that I love are all still there. Al showed up, like people from my past still talk to me, and I still love them, and I appreciate that fact that we're all still friends, and that the people that I love are still there, even though I don't feel like I'm the same.
Yeah, well, and I'm going to go back to what we talked about the last time I had you on the show. When I first met you, I mean, you sent me the most heartbreaking email. That was my introduction to who you were, and the honesty of what was going on. I felt a connection because, I felt like we were going through not the same thing, but a similar thing. And now, how has your
I think we've all grown since then.
Oh, absolutely. We all have. And there's so many people here in the chat too who are dealing with exactly the same stuff. There is among this community of musicians throughout Pete's chat, Hippie's chat, all these channels that play people's music, teach, encourage, Marshall's chat. We all
There's a
are
real mental health
dealing with shit.
issue.
Yeah.
Yeah, mental health is a big topic for especially musicians. Like, I know I'm not awesome. And I know I know where my weaknesses are. I know what I like and what I don't like. Ego is one thing I don't like. And if you don't have any humility, that rubs me wrong. So I like the fact that the majority of the people, 99% of the people that hang out at Pete's, yours, Marshall's, Hippies, Thomas's, are all struggling with the same mental health issues and are all there to support one another. That's a huge advantage to me for sitting in my little hobbit hole. I know if I'm struggling with something, I can reach out to any one of these people and they'll say, I hope you feel better, and are concerned and want, is there something I can do to help? And this community is amazing for that. And it gives us something to do that, otherwise, what are you going to sit and watch TMZ all day? Like, there's, it's a place to go, learn something, hang out with people. Exactly. You know what I mean?
Sorry, you said TMZ. I couldn't help myself. Sorry, but do you feel, Brad, since you found all of us and we found you, and we've got to hear your music and we all share all our music, do you feel your confidence has improved? Because I know when I first met you, you were down, man. You seemed like you're in a K-hole.
Yeah, I still am. Like, my confidence isn't great. But I appreciate what I can do a little more now than I used to. And I think as a musician, and after learning a lot of stuff from your show and Pete's show and how to record and apps to use and the technology that, kind of passed me by, I'm sort of catching up to it now. And I find it helps me a great deal when I'm just trying to write a song. And all of my songs start the same. I start with my acoustic guitar and, I just pick out a song, hum a melody, say out some gibberish words, and eventually I start pen to page and try to express what I'm trying to express. But I found that being a part of a community with other brilliant songwriters like you, like Rusty, like Ivan, like Hubs, I learned, Nikki, Sith, Kim, I've learned to, appreciate what I can do and push past that bad self-talk and capitalize on those good vibes and finish a song. It helps. It's a huge help. Yeah. And especially coming from, that first email I sent you to now, it's been a whole journey, a transition from really being down on myself to now just being comfortable with my weaknesses and more confident with the parts that I'm okay at.
And who would have thought? What's it been? I guess 2 years or longer than that when we first met through that email. That for you guys who don't know, last Christmas it just went by. We were sitting on Clubhouse and I got mashed drinking. We were eating seafood, and me, you, and Ivan Idea were sending naked photos of each other to each other on Christmas Day. And while Russ was just sitting there going, "Oh, what the hell, you losers!" And we were sending naked pictures of each other. Oh my God! But that's the kind of trust you can build up with people.
The first one I said I was having a bath. So I thought, well, everyone everyone wants to see this. So I took a selfie of me in the bathtub.
I still
My
have
pecker
it. I
floating
still
in the
have
water.
it.
Yeah, it's awesome.
It's the best
It
photo.
was a bubble bath. I'm allowed to have bubble baths. I'm comfortable in my sexuality where I can lay in the bathtub, balls out, and I'm good with it.
And if you can't share bubble bath photos with your friends, who can you share
Yeah.
them with?
Yeah, what kind of friends do you have?
Exactly. Get new friends.
Get some
if you,
new friends.
It's true. It is true, though. You know, that's what friends are for, man. Again, we're going back to that. Like, you should be able to share that innermost stuff, that ridiculous stuff, and not be judged. And it's the same thing with music, too. Like, well, if you...
exactly.
It's the same, you know, if the people around you, like... I want to talk about, songwriting as well, because...
Well, not every song you write is going to be a hit, so you got
most of them aren't.
You know, that's what I'm going through now. Is that I put a song out like Little Bird, and a lot of attention gets thrown at it, and people all say they like it. Then I worry about my next song. Will my next song be as good? Will people like it like they like that one, or will I just fall on my face? But having a group of friends, even if I do fall on my face, I have a good group of really creative, really amazing songwriters around me that'll say, yeah, so what? It sucks. Write the next one. When you put out the next one, it might even be better than the last one. So you get that kind of, yeah, you know what? Fuck it. I'm just going to push through this bad feeling I have that I'm going to fall short of my own benchmark and just put it out. And it really helps. Like, it's a huge help. It's unbelievable what it does. Like,
yeah, and there's still
your confidence.
There's still days where you come on, we'll catch up each day, and you're like, fuck. We wait for it. I can tell when you're not having a good one. I can tell you join. You're like, hello, ladies. That's Brad's intro. Brad's intro every day is hello, ladies, and but then you go quiet, and then it explodes, and you tell us what's going on, and and that's the thing. You got to let people unload that shit and get it out, and just even if the problem's not solved, like,
yeah, exactly.
at
You're not
least
going to
this
solve
much.
every problem.
No way.
You're just going to have a good group of people around you that are going to say, fucking man up and push through. Just write the next one. Don't get down on yourself through the process. Enjoy the process. The results at the end really don't matter if you're enjoying the process itself. It's like that Rick and Morty episode where Rick says to Jerry, it's the journey, Jerry, and he's in the bottom of that creature, and its balls are bouncing against his face. It's all about the journey. And even if you're taking balls in the face on the journey, it's still part of the process that you have to enjoy that creative process, just the idea of it. It's so much easier to get through when you have other songwriters that are talking about struggling with the same things. Like you saying, struggling to finish this or finish that, or Kurt struggling to finish something, or Ivan struggling to finish something, or Sith getting down on herself for, not finishing something. But when you talk to people that are all struggling with that same thing, you realize, oh, this isn't just me. Everybody goes through this.
Yeah, life is a daily slap in the face with a huge pair of balls. It's how you deal with it. It's Rick and Morty's got a lot of help. Hello, Black Covers, who's joined us. I know I saw Ian Luckett as well.
Hey, Ian, nice to see you, buddy.
Ingo, we played your track already with Brad, and we're going to play another track now, and then we're going to come back, and we're going to start getting into some stories. I can feel it.
Yeah, I have a text to read that I got this morning that was pretty funny.
Let's before we play this track. Whoops, I did the wrong one. There it is. Hey, Amber, what's going on? What have you got to tell? Whoa! Do a sniffy. Whoops. I swear that is my favorite video of this year. It is the best. So what I'm going to play now is I love this song. This is one of my favorite Brad Example songs. Hey, thank you, Conspiracy Media. Welcome aboard. I haven't said hello to you yet. Thank you for the kind super chat of $5. You rock. Thank you so much. It goes into the swear jar. Definitely goes into the swear jar today.
Full of fucking swearing.
Fucking square. We haven't done a fucking C word yet. We'll save that to the second hour after I've done the distro kid read.
Yeah.
All right, so this is one of my favorite Brad Example songs. It not only for the music. There's my late. Look how on time that is. It's so good. Not only for the video clip of this, it is the music too, and it so suits this. This is Lonesome Feeling. I can't tell you how many times I've listened to this when I felt down and I have a cry and then I get up and I feel heaps better. This is a real dust yourself off and get up and everything's going to be okay. Because you know what? People are always doing it tough on this planet. There's always someone doing it worse off than you, yeah? And when you see someone who is doing it worse off, it only takes a second to reach out and just do something nice. All right, so we'll be back in a second. Enjoy this track. It's one of my absolute favorites. Let me just cue it up, make sure everything's good. We are good to go. Such a professional here. And we'll see you in about 3 minutes 56.
Thank you, Jade.
Boom.
Boom.
Lonesome Feeling Man. Let's bring Brad back in, unmute him. There we go. Oh, man,
Jade.
what a powerful song. It really is a powerful song. It's a beautiful song.
Thanks, Jade. That song was difficult to write. I tried to hide at first. I was just going to write a generic kind of, we or you, but then I changed it to me. I have a lonesome feeling. I will someone understand me? And I really just thought, you know what, fuck it. I'm just going to say what I'm actually feeling and not try to make it relatable. I'll just say what I feel. And it pushed me past a hurdle that I'd kind of been facing as a writer, trying to hide in my lyrics and try to make them generic so that other people could understand them or read into it whatever they want. But this time with that song, I just said it the way I felt it, and it was hard, and it wasn't, there's a lot of, it's personal, and it's, am I who I am or who you want me to be? Because I always struggled with, people would want, Brad example, this crazy fucking psycho that just does anything and everything. But when it's Sunday morning, I'm, just Bradley, and, it's hard for people to understand the difference in that. So it was just a really hard song to write, but it helped me get past that kind of genericness of trying to make something palatable for other people. I just thought, I'm going to say it how I feel it and exactly what I'm going through right at this moment, and I'm going to do it this way. And it turned out to be a song that I don't hate.
Okay. You're going so good, Brad. No, I love it. I just want to read what Nikki Tedesco wrote here, because she's been putting some stuff on Instagram this week about mental health. Nikki says, since we're talking about mental health, I'm going to say this one time. There's nothing wrong with mental health medication. It saved my life. Just saying.
Mine too.
Yeah, absolutely. Same. Yeah, it's important to talk about this stuff. I try and facilitate as much as I possibly can on this channel, not only about apps. I know it says how to app on iOS, but I've always tried to facilitate some form of mental health discussion.
Oh, and you do an awesome job of it. And now that Ward is back, like we all rise together and you talk about these issues. It provides a platform for all of us to talk about this stuff openly among people we trust. So this whole community, we can say things like Nikki just writing that, like there's no stigma attached to taking medications anymore. And Nikki even saying that out loud in the chat is very important, because people look up to Nikki and they look up to all of us, and we all look up to each other. And if we're open about taking medication and how we feel, somebody else that isn't on medication, that's going through it right now, is going to go, you know what, maybe I should try some medication to help me get through this. Absolutely. And it's important for people like Nikki and like you to provide a platform that allows us to be open in that way. It's hugely important.
Yeah, I think so too.
Not only that, but it also makes the community less, it makes the community deeper. Because we're not just connected on a I don't know what the word I'm looking for is, like a facade, like a basic level. It connects us deeper, and it makes us feel closer to each other. Yeah. And that's what your platform does, and that's what Nikki talking about it does, is it makes us all feel closer to each other.
Yeah, and then you can't overdo it as well, because you've got to have entertainment as well. But I think having dark and light and being able to talk about that stuff over here, and then the next day do something completely happy and vibrant and encouraging and all that kind of stuff is needed, because this is entertainment after all. And without this, God, how many of us would have just fallen into an absolute pile of mud, butt mud?
No kidding.
Butt mud water. Over the last couple of years.
Yeah,
Hey,
no kidding.
I want to say thank you also to Deep Gravity. Thank you, my friend, for the very awesome super chat of $14.99. Thank you,
Damn you rock, buddy.
Deep Gravity. Jesus, that's getting loud. I want to bring this up before I do my DistroKid read here in the middle of the show, because last year... All right, so many people, like, you release an album and then you go balls to the wall and advertise on Facebook and YouTube. It's like, hey, check out my new album, check out my album. Last year, you released a fucking album and didn't tell anybody.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I made one post and just said, I have a record. If you want to download it, it's free. Go ahead. And that was it. I didn't make a big deal out of it because I don't know. I'm not there at that, like, you know, do a premiere and do a big push. I just put it out. And if someone wants to check it out, they can write me and say, play the record on the phone, and I'll do that, you know.
So I implore you, people, everybody, go and listen to this album. It is amazing. It has all these songs on it. All the songs that you're hearing here, you've heard on Hippie's channel and Ron's, they're all in this one place. Thank you, Tom Carrera, for the awesome $9.99 super chat.
Awesome.
Thank you. You rock so much. So all the songs are on here. Sorry State, Nightmares, Real Foolish Child, Angry Lullaby. I mean, everything's on here. This is an incredible album. I couldn't believe that it slipped through even my musings. I didn't even know. It was only, I think it was only like about 4 months ago that I realized you released it. Because you were so sly about it. It's unbelievable.
Yeah, I just put it out. I didn't advertise it or anything. I just put it out there. Because I struggle to navigate the new world of social media and how to promote stuff in a way that doesn't come across like, hey, look at me, everyone look at me. You know, I wanted it to be, you know, if you found it and you want it, you can have it. And it's free.
Yep. All right. Let me come back over here because I'm going to just do this. Because speaking of releasing your music, folks, you know what? If you are considering releasing music, you know what? You should consider using DistroKid, because I use DistroKid. They are amazing. I've been using them since 2016, and I have so many releases. Look at them all. These are all my releases out through DistroKid, because they have a ridiculous price of $19.99 a year to release unlimited singles, albums. You get an artist name, you get a Spotify check mark, and you can collect earnings. You can split earnings with other artists that you may have collaborated with. You can add unlimited lyrics to your tracks, which appear on Spotify and Apple Music and all that business, and it's absolutely worth your time. There are 3 plans here, as I mentioned at the beginning: a musician plan, a label plan. I use the label plan because I have too many bands. It's ridiculous. But if you use my link, which Thomas has put in the chat, it is in the description as well, DistroKid/VIP/JStar, you'll get 7% off your first year across all of these different levels, tiers. What I want to show you today, just quickly, is something that I see everybody using on DistroKid, and it's a fantastic feature that once you release something, you get offered to. Let's go into goodies here, promote yourself. So when you release an album, you get this section here called Hyperfollow. And I see a lot of people not using it to its full extent, right? And you just get given this basic Hyperfollow page with like one thing, like Spotify. Remind me when Spotify releases. But many people may not know this. Within your Hyperfollow, and I'm just going to edit one of mine here, you can actually edit your Hyperfollow and add heaps more links. Let me click on this, make sure it's working. I've already got it set here. Do I? There we go. Edit. There we go. So here's your Hyperfollow, and you can add, you know, your title, artist name. But what you can add is add links and new sections. So I've got my website in here, Spotify, Amazon, Deezer. You can add all your websites, your social media. your Facebook, your YouTube, your Apple Music, even your Bandcamp, even though that's not affiliated with DistroKid. So you can add all these extra things. You can even embed a YouTube video in here if you've got a clip for the song. You can upload. You can do so much and make this hyperfollow page look so much fancier. You can add a bio, all this kind of stuff, and make it just that bit fancier. So it is a landing page, and there's a whole lot of places out there that offer you to be able to use a landing page, and they charge you for it, and it's all a part of your DistroKid. The one more thing I just want to quickly cover, did you know, and I'm probably not going to be able to find it here, I think it's in special access. You can actually, maybe it's not special access, you can, maybe here, you can connect your Twitch channel to your DistroKid, and what that does is it elevates your Twitch channel, if you are streaming on Twitch, from just a basic Twitch account to the next tier up. Not a full-blown Hasanabi or anything like that, but you actually can upgrade your Twitch to so that's really cool, and it's just a free thing with DistroKid. Like, it's really cool. So there's a whole bunch of things just to realize. Jump into your goodies here and just go through some of this stuff, because there is a whole lot of great things. You can add your lyrics in here. You can make promo cards. There is so much you can do. Lyrics, credits. You can protect your music in a vault. So if you lose any of your files, they're all stored in this little magical vault. All your albums are all saved in here, all in WAV file, all mastered, and you can bring them back down if you ever lose them on your computer. You know what? Thank you, DistroKid. I do love DistroKid. They are great sponsors of this channel for these interviews that we do once a month. And I implore you, if you're releasing music, you can't get better anywhere else. DistroKid are the absolute best. DistroKid! Hi, Brad.
Yeah, I love that DistroKid is sponsoring you. I think they should sponsor more of your shows, because it's exactly in their wheelhouse. Like,
maybe
what you do is seamlessly integrated with what they do.
Maybe something will happen like that in the future. Who knows? But maybe I don't know. We'll talk about that at another stage. What are we going to do now? We're going to get in a period of the show where you may have a few laughs, folks. So suspend.
Well, first, before anything,
hang on.
Let me read this text that I got.
All right.
So I was asking my friends, like, if they had, what story should I tell? So my buddy wrote, tell the one about when you boiled your balls in hot water while we were having a foursome. Brad finished first and decided that he immediately regretted it and needed to boil away any STIs that we were for sure swapping. The image of you with your leg up in the toilet sink with the steam filling the room is an image I'll never forget.
We've officially turned a corner, folks. Here we go. Tom's Crush is written. Here we go. We're off.
So that happened. That was a whole, and I don't even remember it. It's something I don't even remember. But it obviously left an impression on the people that were there.
Obviously. So what drug?
Naked me with my balls in a sink, steaming with hot water, thinking that that's going to protect me from all the whoring around I was doing.
Well,
no.
Do you remember it? That's the question.
No, I don't. I don't remember doing it. I was like, did I really do that? And they're all laughing. Yeah, I have no idea.
Shall we start with? So this show's about sex, drugs, and rock and roll. Shall we talk about sex? As when you were playing in bands like the Surfers and stuff, what was that like? Were there chicks all around you? Were you a loose lush?
Yeah, I would do anything that moved. If you smiled at me, I'd find a closet or a mop room or a bathroom or anywhere out in the parking lot. There was one time I remember I was in the parking lot at a college, and I was in between our bus with our trailer and another vehicle, and I was getting a BJ, and the truck pulled away, and I'm getting a BJ, and the lineup to get in was right there. So 300 people in a lineup that were lining up to come into the gig. They all started cheering. Yeah, and I'm standing like leaning against the trailer. It was unbelievable. And the worst part about that story is later I ended up taking her to a hotel room and my hotel room phone rang. So I answered the phone. I go, hello. And it was her boyfriend. I'm like, first of all, how does your boyfriend know that we're in this hotel? Like, what is going on? It was crazy. It was crazy.
Are you still friends with her?
No, I haven't seen her in years. I haven't seen her in years.
So, you, God, you used to play a lot of shows naked.
Yeah.
And
all of them that were up, like as long as it was 19 plus and it was like it was a good vibe, then I would take all my clothes off.
Yeah,
which is about 85% of the time.
Would you have to get permission from the
No.
venue? Really?
Never, not once. There was one time we were playing at a club in Toronto called Sneaky D's, which is like a pretty famous, like a famous little rock and roll club in Toronto. And the bouncers came up to me and said, "Put your fucking clothes back on." And the band was like, "No, he plays like this all the time." So the owner ended up talking to the bouncer saying, "Let the guy play naked. That's what he does." So they just walked away. And that was it. That was the only time that anybody ever said to me, "Put your clothes on." And it only lasted a couple minutes. They were like, "Okay, whatever. I guess you play naked. That's fine." And I never said another word.
Look, I can attest. I've performed theatre and been naked. I've done some live shows and I've done a drag king show where I got naked in front of a room full of women. And why did you do it? Like, what do you get out of it?
Long story, but when I was young, there was a guy that was kind of my nemesis, and he was judging my music based on like the clothes that people were wearing at the time. So I ended up on stage that night and I thought, you know what? If you're going to fucking judge me, all of me. So I just stripped naked right there and started playing and decided at that moment, if you're going to judge me, judge all of me. Go ahead. Here I am, fully exposed. I'm not afraid. I'm actually more comfortable. And I don't care what you think. I really don't. And I always thought, a party is only awesome when somebody starts getting naked and having sex, or there's a streaker. That's when the party starts kicking off. So I thought, okay, I'm going to be that guy. I'll be the naked streaker. And I would take my bass off and mingle around the bar naked and then come back and do another set. Like all the time I'd go out and smoke, like naked, just shoes and a hat usually.
I can attest to it. Once you've performed in front of a group of people naked, there's pretty much nothing you won't do. Like, you're not afraid of being on stage anymore. That is the most confronting thing you'll ever do. And I have to admit, like when I did my theatre performance, which is called From Metal to Maternal, and I came out at the start with a fake beard on and everything, and it was the story of my transition and stuff. So as the show went on, bits of clothes came off till I stood there naked in front of everybody at the end. And my dad was front row at the opening night. And my
grandparents saw me naked.
It didn't work well.
My mom, my sister, my dad, my family, everybody that has ever known me, they have all seen me naked numerous times.
Well, of course.
I'm not shy about it. I know.
I would
have done this interview naked. But the internet's a little iffy, right? If it was like if I was on your Patreon doing this interview, I'd be fully naked. Fully naked.
I don't believe that. Not since you bought those overalls.
Oh, I love these. They're my favorite.
Brad's been after these overalls for so long, folks, and he got a pair and they didn't fit. And I think they went to your sister. Is that right?
Yeah, I gave them to my sister, and I found these ones. It was a Facebook ad that kept popping up, and it showed this guy in overalls. So I was like, I'm going to buy them. Click bought them. I love them so much. Better than joggers because I can free ball. I can just sit in these all day. They're comfortable. There's no waistband, like no big belt buckle because I wear big belt buckles and they all dig into my stomach. And all of my T-shirts have holes in the bottom because they rub against my belt buckles. I have a really big collection of belt buckles. Like I'm a true Canadian redneck, like big belt buckles, overalls, big boots, cowboy hats, beard. Like I'm true blue Canadian through and through.
Did you find being naked on stage helped you attract women?
Sometimes it did, yeah. There was one time I was playing and a girl walked up to the stage, reached under my bass, grabbed my dick, started pulling on it like a fucking bell. I was like, that's it. She's like, I didn't think it was real. I'm like, yeah, it's real and it's attached. You're gonna rip it off. You keep pulling on it. But there were moments like there was a girl in the crowd that was looking at me in a way, and I knew what that way was. And as soon as we were done our first set, I just grabbed her by the hand, took her backstage, had sex. Everybody could see because the door opened up and the whole crowd could see me having sex bare ass. And then I go back out and finish the next set. Like it just, sometimes it was good and other times it's, you show too much and the surprise is gone, you know?
Yeah, they know what they're getting.
But it worked. Like, I got laid a lot from it, for sure. Yeah, for sure.
What's the most disturbing sex you've had with somebody that you've picked up at a gig?
Oh my God. All of it, really, to be honest. Like, when you're having sex in a dirty, really slimy, dirty bar, punk rock bathroom, your life has taken a left turn somewhere. So, whether you're, the girl or me or the multiple girls and multiple guys, your life has taken a left turn.
Multiple guys.
Yeah, like you're in a stall having sex on a toilet that it's just like you've made some bad choices if that's where you end up. And I loved every minute of it. The dirtier, the better. Just, I was happy about it.
Do you miss it?
I do. I definitely do.
Yeah, I kind of do as well, too.
And the drugs, to, segue into drugs. I miss the drugs. Yes, Amber. Yeah.
Segue into drugs. You know what? We'll hold that thought because I want to play some more of your music, of course. Let's do that. Let's play another track and then we'll come back and we'll talk about drugs. Yeah. And then we'll combine all of it together. And we're going to mishmash of all of it. Sorry. Oh, I shouldn't have said mishmash. Sorry, Laurie, if you're watching on the replay, that came out wrong. Damn. I didn't mean that in that way. Hello, Thomas Gillane. Good to see you. Hello, Thomas. Good to see you, my friend.
Hey, Thomas.
So what I'm going to play now is I want to play this one, and I'm picking these just because I like these songs.
Yeah, they're a surprise to me. I love it.
This is Foolish Child. I like this because many of these songs we've got to play a hand in. You'll notice at the start of these songs, you'll see Russ's name, you'll see Ivan Idea on there. We've all been lucky enough to play a hand in Brad's music, which is just awesome. So I'm going to play this one. This is Foolish Child. I love this one so much. Let's cue it up, and you guys can kick back for a second and get ready for the next onslaught of this show, which will be drugs. All right, let's do it. This is Foolish Child. Boom.
Guess I spend my time living between the lines. You got my faith, I lost my pride, and I kept everything inside. And there's a foolish child in me that simply lost his way. in myself until you slowly took it all away. If I get weak, I know that you'll be strong. Those simple things from me to you, the dream is all I need. And I can hardly sleep, I can hardly eat, and I can't believe in anything today. I can't expect things to go my way. And I believed in myself until you slowly took it all away. Talk, I try to find the truth that'll ease my troubled mind. What is it that you see, and who is it that you want me to be? There's a foolish child in me that simply lost his way. And I believed in myself until you slowly took it all away.
I love that song so much. It's a star cast of people who are involved in that, a lot of people involved in that, and it's just always a pleasure to be involved in it. And one of the reasons I wanted you on here today is, like, I've already done the interview with you. So, again, I'm going to point out to people, if you haven't seen that, go back and watch it.
It's funny.
It
was fun to do.
It's really
I was super
funny.
nervous, but it was fun.
You were super.
Jade's so awesome. It's like
that's
easy to.
That's not
just
true.
sit and hang
It's
out.
not true. Let's. We're going to be talking about drugs. So let's be honest. You were fucking beaning off your head on that interview.
Yeah.
Because we're talking about drugs, and go back and watch it. He's on fire, and it's so funny. You were off your bean, man. I remember you messaged me before the show going, "Oh man, I've been up with Ivan all night on Clubhouse. I'm on so much coke. I'm just wild." And you were on fire because, and you know, we talk about drugs a lot on Clubhouse, and we talk about drugs amongst our little friendship group. You know why? Because, hey, I'm an advocate for drugs, man. For drugs that help mental health, drugs that help open your mind, all these kind of things. But
I always say that to people. Drugs are invented and designed to make you feel good. If you don't feel good, take drugs. Then you'll feel good. It's that easy.
Yeah, but
like there is a fine line. Like, you have to be careful. You can't be a glutton.
No.
You have to only do things in a way that is going to help you and not hurt you.
Like anything, you have to, like everything in life, like making music, like playing video games. Moderation, man. Moderation.
Moderation is mandatory.
It absolutely is. But it's with everything you do in life, you know. And I'm not trying to lecture people, but it is important in moderation. So, you know, I, like you, have done many hallucinogenics. I've done peyote, done lots of things, yeah. And it really didn't affect me. It didn't put me in a hole. Probably only one drug really did put me in a hole, but I actually needed it for one point because I
Yeah.
was struggling with something else, which I'm not going to go into. But it turned out to take over, and I realized it. I was able to see it and then stop it. And what helps is having good
That's
friends.
the key. A lot of people can't see that when they get to that stage. They break through that barrier of it. Then all of a sudden now they're reliant upon this drug to get them through the day-to-day life. But if you can recognize that point, you can avoid it and stay on the good side and not get swept up in it and become an addict and become a glutton and let it ruin your life.
And
but it's like anything. You can eat too much popcorn.
And the thing is too, people throw around the word addict like it is a bad thing, like mental health. Addictions, it's something that we all struggle with. We're things flashing in our face every day.
Have succeeded.
Yeah.
Every day. People have succeeded like William Burroughs or Bela Lugosi or, all these famous people that were famously drug addicts their whole lives. And they lived to the ripe age of 100 years old. And they were addicts their whole lives. So, I mean, there is a balance that your body doesn't give you on its own that you can get from drugs if that's what you're after. Drugs are designed to make you feel good. Whether it's grass, whether it's ecstasy, whether it's cocaine, it'll make you feel better for a little while, and then you go back to your life. It's like a little vacation.
Whether it's fucking Panadol as well. I mean, it's made to make you feel good. You've got a headache, you take it to stop the headache. You know what they're talking about here in Australia? They're talking about taking Panadol off the shelves here in Australia.
Wow.
Because of the pandemic, because everybody getting COVID and doctors recommending that we all take Panadol and nothing else, that now everybody's just been doing it. But, that's the other thing too, Nikki, what Nikki's put here. If you want to get sober, DM her. It's okay to be sober as well. It's okay. There is no, don't let anybody tell you one way is the right way. Always do the things.
Well, that's the thing, especially with people that are sober, is that they got to a point where they realized their lives had become unmanageable. And if that's where your life has taken you, get help. Look for somebody like Nikki, and they'll support you through your sobriety journey. They'll help you along your 12 steps. They'll drink coffee and smoke cigarettes with you, sit in a church basement, and support you through that. There's if you're gonna do drugs, you have to be responsible. You can't just free willy-nilly it and just think I can do anything and do it. You have to really kind of dip your toes in, and there's an art to it. When I used to party all the time, I could recognize around me I would say I'm cashing my chips in, and I would go to bed. The guys who would stay up and keep going are the guys that ended up having to get sober. They needed help.
Yeah.
And I support them 100%.
And, it's about understanding yourself too. I don't really talk about this a lot, but in September coming up this year, I'm what is it? 3 years. No, it's going to be 4 years totally sober. And I just stopped. I was hearing voices in my head. There's something going on. And I was hearing things, and I identified it. I went to a doctor. I said, hey, man, I think I'm hearing things. It's either there's something wrong with my hearing, or I think I'm hearing things. And he was like, what drugs are you taking? I went, this, and this. And he was like, yeah, you probably should stop. And as soon as I stopped, the fucking it disappeared. And
that's at that point where the joy of the fun of doing it had run its course, and you got to the point where it started to affect you negatively. And that's the part where you got to stop and get away. Like, I've lost friends and family members to addiction. It's not pretty, but if you can manage your way through it, then you're allowed to. I'm a grown up. I can take a little bit and move on,
I remember,
and I do sometimes, not very often, but I'm all for it.
I had a friend who we all went to a holiday. We had a holiday house. There was about 12 of us piled into this holiday house. And, he was always off his brain. And he woke up with a condom hanging out of his asshole. And he was like
It happens.
saying who did it. And it was none of us. We just put it in there while he was asleep. But the irony was he gave up drugs not long afterwards. But, Brad, what's the wildest thing you've ever done on drugs? And what drugs were they?
God.
Come on.
Mean, I don't even know where to start. There was one time we played a gig and this girl came up to me and she said, how long are you guys in town for? And I said, well, we're playing tonight and we're leaving in the morning. And she said, okay, this is going to sound crazy. I just got busted this morning. My house got raided and I got arrested for drug trafficking. And I put a half ounce of cocaine in my toilet tank that they didn't find. I'd since let it dry out. Will you take it and just get it out of town? And I said, absolutely. So, and that was the first night of our tour. So the other guys in the band that weren't into drugs, they were like, oh my God, here we go. You got enough drugs to kill an entire village and you're doing them pretty much by yourself and doing all of it until it's gone. So I spent a good week, like just digging in hard and ended up throwing it away and continuing the rest of the tour. And that was it. As soon as we were done, we were done. I'm like, okay, that's it. We did that. Let's move on to the next thing. But that was like a 2-week long bender of like nonstop partying.
What?
I ended up that night, trying to pierce my own nipple. First, my buddy's mom tried to pierce my nipple with a piercing gun, and it only went halfway through. So I put an ice cube, and I tried to jam it through the other half, and I was just so out of my mind. I ended up mangling my nipple, and yeah, that was probably the craziest thing.
Dude,
I just destroyed it. But I ended up going. We were touring in the States, and I went to a piercing place, and I showed the guy. I said, look what I did to my nipple. He was like, that's brutal. Sit down. Gave me a free nipple ring, actually pierced it properly, and I got it for free because I had mangled my nipple so bad trying to jam a stud through it.
I did the same thing, man, off my brain with a Slayer badge through my nipple. Didn't realize you have to actually put the pin behind the nipple, behind the ball of the nipple. And I got it through with a block of ice on and a Slayer badge pin, and I pushed it through. And then
the block of ice is kind of ubiquitous. Everybody needs the block of ice. I'm telling you right now, it doesn't work. The ice doesn't help.
It just makes it cold.
It just makes you cold.
Yeah. And I remember going into my dad and trying to shock him and going, "Look, I've got my nipple pierced," and I was like twirling it. I had a sleeper in there, and I was twirling it, going, "Woo, look at this!" And then the sleeper just went blunk and came off. And the ball of my nipple was still on the sleeper.
Oh,
and I'm like, oh no. And my dad, these were my dad's exact words. You're a fuckhead. No wonder we don't get along. So what was your preferred drug when you were performing on stage?
Oh my God, all of them, as much as I could possibly take. We drank a lot. We were sponsored by Jägermeister, so we had all the free Yag you could imagine.
Oh, that's a drug?
We would pound Jägermeister, which would lead to doing a bunch of lines, smoking a lot of grass, taking some ecstasy. There was one time I broke my foot on stage doing the worm naked. So, and it was the night before an American tour. I went into the public bathroom. Usually there's a bathroom backstage. And I went into the regular crowd bathroom. As soon as I got in there, some guy just went, "Hey man," opened his hand up and it was full of pills. He goes, "Take one of these." And I grabbed all of them. Oh, ate them all right there. Ended up on stage naked. I don't even remember the rest of the gig. I remember waking up the next morning with my girlfriend picking glass out of my back. So I had gotten naked. There was broken beer bottles on the floor. I was doing the worm and breakdance moves on broken glass, totally naked on this stage. And I ended up breaking my foot while I was doing it. So for the first, I think it was 3 months of this tour, I had a cast on and crutches and had to get everybody to help me. I ended up getting laid a lot from it. If I saw a group of girls, I would fall and they would all come over, oh my God, and pick me up. And that was my way. That was my pickup line when my foot was broken.
So
you do what you can.
Yeah. Yeah, I wouldn't recommend doing drugs on stage. What about so hallucinogenics? Let's talk hallucinogenics, because you must have a hallucinogenic story. That's something you've taken.
Actually, like over the last 8 months, I've been microdosing.
How's that going?
I've been buying really, really well. It's helped a lot. I think if you have any sort of mental illness struggles that are hard to overcome, do 1 round of microdoses, you'll get over that hump, and then your medications will start working better. You'll be a little bit more clear. It kind of shovels away the lumpy coal parts of mental illness that are really difficult to break through and get over. So the microdoses actually helped get me past a really angry part of the way I was feeling. And it got to the point where my mom even said to me a couple months ago, she said, do you need another round of those mushrooms? Because she could tell I was getting agitated a lot more and a little more touchy and secluded and withdrawn. And she ended up buying me a round. So just to help me through it, because it's so effective. It's amazing how they figured it out, and that by microdosing, you're not actually getting high though. I mean, I would buy a round and I would also buy a bag that I could eat. So I would trip balls and also do the microdosing. But I would recommend it to anybody. It is such a valuable asset and it works so well.
Yeah, I'm going to head out in a couple of weekends, take my drone out to this place here called the Dandenongs, and I'm going to go mushy picking, and I'm going to do a round of microdosing myself. So that's going to be interesting. The shows are probably going to be. It doesn't
really affect you, but you feel it about halfway through the day. Your throat and chin and your face get really warm, and your brain just starts working again. It's incredible how it works. Like you don't feel it, but you can feel like this. The room, the depth perception gets better. The colors get more vibrant. You feel better. It's like your brain is craving this. It's astonishing how well it works.
I will stop in for a coffee.
It got me through dark times.
Yeah, and I think it's going to help me too. Like, that's part of the reason I bought the drone, to get out of the house. I need to get out of the house. And Deep Gravity said, stop in for a coffee, and I will. I'm going to play another song, and then the last bit of rock and roll is actually, today, folks, we're not going to be talking about rock and roll. Hi, Friggsy. Good to see you. Anyone else who I have missed, thank you for being here. Timothy, I can see as well. The last part of the show, so it is sex, drugs, and rock and roll. We've talked a bit about sex. We've talked a bit about drugs. The rock and roll would be Brad is going to perform live for us today on the show. He's going to close out the show with his acoustic guitar, which is awesome. I can't wait for that. We're going to play another song now, another one of my personal favorites that's on the album. Remember, the links are in the description. Go and get the album, man. It's really, really fucking cool. It is an awesome album.
Thank you, Jade.
And
thank you, everyone. Just go download it. It's free. You can have it. It's my gift to you because I love you, and I just want, if you like my songs, and I know that there are people that don't like my songs, that's okay. Download it, send it to somebody that will like it.
Is it on Bandcamp?
No, it's on BandLab.
Oh, it's on Band. Yeah, the link to BandLab's in the description as well too. So it is there as well.
It's on BandLab as a whole, like the whole thing. You can get it in one click. You just hit download album, and you get it.
All right, this is one of my favorite ones because I'm selfish. This is Girl Next Door. So kick back, and we'll be back to wrap up the show and let everybody move on because Pete Johns is up next after this show. He's got Thomas Christ as a special guest, so you won't want to miss that.
Oh, cool.
And this is Girl Next Door. Let's do it. Boom.
find you. Dead ends and got lost along the way. I can taste your lips through the years. Everywhere I go, everything I believe, it's a dream to me. Shy little girl, reign over my heart like a queen. I wanna lay all my days down on the ground for you to see. We can pick up the parts you love and that you need, and leave the rest to blow away in the breeze. And I've waited my whole life to find you. Dead ends and got lost along the way. I can taste your lips through the years. Everywhere I go, everything I believe, it's a dream to me. And I've waited my whole life to find you. Dead ends and got lost along the way. I can taste your lips through the years. Everywhere I go, everything I believe, it's a dream to me.
Damn straight. Beautiful, beautiful,
Thanks,
beautiful,
Jade.
beautiful. I just love, one of the things I really love about Brad's music is your voice. It's just,
Oh, thank
it's
you.
possibly one of the most unique voices I've ever heard, and it just conveys exactly what you're feeling. It's really hard to do that. It's really hard to have a voice that is so different these days that stands out. And I just want to explain to people why I've got Brad on here for a second time. In rock and roll, man, there used to be storytellers, and it's one of the reasons I love Counting Crows so much. Counting Crows, to me, is still one of the last storytellers in music. And what Brad has is Brad's a storyteller. And we get to hang out with him every day on Clubhouse and hear his stories. And when you are a beautiful songwriter who tells stories, you tell stories just naturally. And I think that's one of the reasons, like the previous interview we did with the bear story and all that stuff, and the masturbating in your front room. If you haven't seen that interview, folks, I implore you. The story about Brad masturbating in his lounge room and a random guy walking in and catching him is to die for, because he's a storyteller. You can't help but fucking laugh your tits off. And that's what we all need a little bit more of, man. Laughter and
Yeah,
and
exactly.
joy.
And when you invite me onto these shows, like I get nervous and my palms sweat. But the reality is I'm just talking with somebody who I love, one of my best friends in the world. So it's just like hanging out here. Like I could stay on here for hours.
Absolutely. Yeah, I could as well. We could, and I'm sure lots of people would enjoy more of it. So, I think we'll do another one later this year. We'll hang out. We'll delve more into, we're going to be doing something special coming up soon. I'm not going to talk about it. I don't want to, let the cat out of the bag to say yet until everything, all the nines are lined up. But we're going to go out today and let you close the show with some rock and roll. Before playing some music, I want to ask, do you have plans this year to put out another album? Are you to put some songs together, or an EP or anything like that?
Yeah, I don't have plans, but I have a bunch of songs that I'm ready to write lyrics for. I have all the music, I have all the arrangement ready to go. I just have to, buckle in and actually finish the lyrics. And I think if I get into a good work ethic this summer and fall, that I'll be able to put out an EP by Christmas with at least 6 songs on it. Because I have probably 15 songs that I think are solid, that I think if I don't fuck up the lyrics and the melody, that they should be good songs.
Yeah, I've heard you noodling on them. That's the other thing. We get to hear them. I'll probably get to master them. Russ will make a video clip for them. We're so involved with each other's music, you guys. You wouldn't believe. It is amazing.
It's amazing. And the whole community is like that. A lot of people collaborate more than I do, but I try to collaborate whenever anyone asks me. I'll do my best, and you can always rely on Jade for the mastering. You can rely on Ivan to help. You can rely on Russ. You can rely on all these people that are really talented that just want to help. They want to help you achieve what you're after. And, when you have a pool of musicians that are this talented, you're crazy not to ask for help.
That we do. That's what I try and do on this channel. So, you know, if you're not subscribed, you're watching this for the first time, you know, hey, and hit the like too. If you're not subscribed, please subscribe and hang out, because that's what I try and do on this channel, is encourage you to get better. Find other ways to make music and get better, get better, get better, get better. Yeah. All right. So we're going to go out. We've got about...
together.
We all rise together. Exactly right. Hello, Preston Smith. Welcome.
Hey, Preston. Good to see you, buddy.
We're going to go. We got about 12 minutes here, so we'll let you play a couple of songs.
I got a song.
Sure, let's go for it.
Song. I'll play it right now.
Let's do it.
I haven't played this song in years. I get high, let my mind race round a while, and I think to myself, is this what it's all about? You can talk in my ear and you float around in my life, and just like a cloud you change shapes and float on by. I'm just talking to myself, so let me roll on. If you don't care, then why should anyone else? All the winds, they changed and they carried you away, and I rack my brain trying to word my day with a wink and a smile, some love that'll last a while. All the dreams I have, they only last one day. I'm just talking to myself, so let me roll on. If you don't care, then why should anyone else? I'm just talking to myself, so let me roll on. If you don't care, then why should anyone else?
Yeah.
Yeah, does that sound okay?
Yeah. You know, it's not going to always sound perfect because of your situation where you're situated. It's going to pick up the guitar a little bit, but it sounds great. I've got some reverb on it. We're good, mate. You know what?
Nice.
You know what I say? It's always about the performance, man. It's about the performance.
Yeah, I haven't played in a long time. I hope you liked it.
You can have the worst sound in the world, but if you're not feeling it, it sounds like shit. Do you want to play something else? We've got time to play one more if you want to.
Yeah, I'll play one. I'll play a cover that I like.
Well, don't get me a claim. But...
Oh, yeah. I don't want to get you in trouble. I'll play... I don't know what to play. You know what? I'll play Foolish Child, because
yeah,
I don't get to play it live, so... I guess I've spent my time living between the lines. You got my faith, I lost my pride, and I kept everything inside. And there's a foolish child in me that simply lost his way. And I believed in myself until you slowly took it all away.
And do you know where you belong? If I get weak, I know that you'll be strong. Those simple things from me to you. The dream is all I need, and I can hardly sleep, I can hardly eat, and I can't believe in anything today. Can't expect things to go my way. And I believed in myself until you slowly took it all away. The more you talk, I try to find the truth that'll ease my tired mind. What is it that you see, and who is it that you want? You want me to be. And there's a foolish child in me that simply lost his way. And I believed in myself until you slowly took it all away.
Yeah! I don't have the applause button on this setup, so I can't do it today. Thank you very much, Brad, for sharing some music with us. There's your rock and roll, folks. That is your rock and roll for today.
Thank you, Jade. I love you with all of my heart.
Yeah, same, man. I love you so much, Brad. That's what it's all about, folks. Loving each other, yeah? We love each other so much that we send nude photos. I've put a poll up in the chat. Can you see the poll that's up in the chat, Brad?
Yes.
I'm just going to check it. You don't have much time. Should Brad get naked? 89%. I'm going to end the poll right now. All right. The 89% says yes. Oh, God. What are we doing? I'm so sorry.
Yeah. Just to say bye. I'll get ready here.
Just top at least. No bottoms, please. Please. Please, no bottoms. Oh, there's that pierced nipple we're talking about.
There we go. I feel way better now.
I love this show. I love you, Brad.
I love you. Thanks, everybody, for coming.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, let's do the goodbyes. Thank you so much to everybody in the chat. Thanks to everybody who have kindly sent super chats today. And I want to thank DistroKid, the amazing sponsor of this particular show. You know what to do. There's the thing up there. Use the code, man. If you're not already with DistroKid, get your music out. You get a discount with that code up there, and it's absolutely worth your time because DistroKid rock. Thank you so much for DistroKid sponsoring these shows. It makes life so much easier. Thank you so much, Brad, for hanging out today and sharing.
Thank you for having me, Jade, and thank you, everybody, for coming and hanging out. I really appreciate it. It means a lot to me. I love all of you so much, and I love all of your music so much that I'm just happy to be a part of it. And I'm happy to come on and take my clothes off for you. I love it. I love you all.
Love you too. All right, guys, remember, I'm going to be back on the opening hour this week with the Wheel of Torture. So if you want to come and join us for that, come and check out my live stream there. Then back to the normal episodes during the week. I got a day off tomorrow. I'm looking forward to that. I'm going to take my drone out for a spin. Nice. And we'll see all my Patreons on the show on the weekend. Remember, Patreons, there's a whole bunch of giveaways. If you haven't entered for the giveaways, go and do that. Make sure you're entered. You've got to be in it to win it. And yeah, that's it. Remember, do the things that make you happy. Mistakes make us better. And like me and Brad, we'll always rise together. Head over to Pete Johns' chat. Pete's on coming up in 3 minutes with Thomas Christ. Please, Thomas, if you're still here, or you're probably not, if you can put the thing in the chat, or maybe I'll try and do it now. Maybe Thomas is getting ready. Let me try and do it now. I'll do it as the music plays out. So head over to Pete Johns' channel. And yeah, thanks, Brad. Love you. Love everybody.
Jade, love you.
We'll see you later. Right, we all rise together. Oh, I've got to get my music ready. Hang on, I'm all over the place. I'm all flustered. I've got to stop this. I got to go over here and I got to do the music. There's the music. See you later.
I'm rising right now.
I'm sure you are. I don't want to see that. Goodbye.